Have you ever sat down to analyze everything our blood represents for us? Because many great minds have explored the possibility that, more than a powerful genetic load at the biological level, our blood also provides us with a precious energetic charge. This liquid that runs within us and is fundamental for the functioning of many of our organs can end up representing a much higher and crucial part of our being, one that we often overlook. This leads us to also consider the different blood types that we know of, thus opening the door to the question, what does each blood type contain energetically? Indeed, great researchers in the field of metaphysics, such as Dolores have ventured into exploring the diversity of this biological material and its influence on our configuration, not only physically, but also energetically. This idea has sparked profound curiosity in humans because the more we seem to delve into the waters of knowledge, the deeper they seem to become, finding within them connections between aspects of our being and the energy of the universe and our soul. But the greater our understanding of these factors that ultimately influence how we are configured, the more benefit we can derive from everything that constitutes us. And from there, we will achieve everything we desire, including that desired evolution that our soul has been seeking since its arrival in this earthly plane. That's why we're going to take a brief journey through those aspects of our being that may be marked by the blood type we possess, and that go far beyond genetics. As always, this journey will be inspired by the teachings of Dolores, who has been one of the greatest researchers in the field of metaphysics. And once we finish our brief journey, I can guarantee you that you will have discovered great traits of yourselves that were completely dormant within you, waiting to be brought to your conscious side. Additionally, we will see profound connections of our being with the universe and the cosmic legacies that exist there. Type O, the heirs of Atlantis. People whose blood type is O are individuals with a strongly rooted energetic heritage to the elevated knowledge provided by ancient civilizations, making them extremely special individuals with a unique connection to the forces of the universe and true knowledge. Although it may seem astonishing, it is believed that people who possess this blood type were part of those ancient civilizations, that their soul was a member of them, and therefore absorbed the knowledge and vision they shared about the universe. As most people know, if there was one characteristic of certain ancient civilizations, it was the way they aligned themselves with the universe and how energy flows through its vastness, giving them a level of elevation unlike anything seen in later times. Despite living in times that offered them slightly fewer earthly opportunities, they were able to create great cities that tapped into the energies and resources flowing from nature, which is why they are attributed a connection to it. This spiritual inheritance did not remain solely in those times, but was brought into modern history thanks to these precious souls who bear traces of the knowledge of these ancient civilizations at their core. The way people with this blood type present themselves is fascinating because, although they often don't understand where that knowledge that makes them stand out comes from, they still rise above ordinary thought. At the same time, the particular calling they feel to nature makes those around them suspect a much greater energetic calling than what we usually feel. These individuals seem to have as a mandatory characteristic of their being that connection with nature, which, as happened in ancient times, seems to nourish these souls. As we mentioned before, one of the great traits that characterized Atlantis and other similar civilizations that existed in antiquity was the use of the natural and energy resources that came from everything around us. This leads us to think that we have always been presented with the opportunity to have it all, but ultimately chose to reject it, distancing ourselves more and more from the path of enlightenment and deep harmony that nature offers. The closer these people seem to be to nature, the more wonderful their way of unfolding is, as if nature were charging them with the energies within them and allowing them to move forward with greater strength. In this sense, it is important to emphasize that the connection with nature is not simply an option presented to these men and women, but forms an essential part of their lives. Another noteworthy characteristic of those whose blood type is O is the impressive psychic ability they develop, understanding the space around them, as well as all the souls and forms of life that inhabit it. They are extremely perceptive, and without the need for big signs, they can detect and understand any type of event or fluctuation that occurs around them, while also being able to perceive those beings around them and the moods they possess. All of this they achieve through their understanding of the universe and the energies that exist within it, resulting in wonderful people with impressive abilities, which they often are unaware of. And it's important to cultivate the abilities that are inherent to their true essence, because otherwise they won't fully unleash the incredible abilities they've inherited. Despite these people having innate abilities, it's necessary for them to participate in activities and exercises that help them develop these skills, but especially to allow these individuals to align with their true essence, thereby unlocking the potential that their energetic heritage provides. In the initial stages, these faculties may manifest as gentle flashes of a higher level of consciousness. The way in which our being gently may be calling us to awareness, to recognize within ourselves that load of elevated knowledge that remains inside. In this sense, it's recommended to allow them contact with nature, thus seeking to strengthen that connection with the energies of Mother Nature that do them so much good, and that in the past were the basis for the balance that, as guests and members of these ancient civilizations, they achieved. Frequent visits to natural spaces can recharge these beings with beautiful energies, especially if during this time you can meditate in the midst of such places, thereby seeking to open the door for natural energies to invade even the deepest corners. The sounds of nature can be a great enhancer of this reconnection work with the deepest aspects of our being, fostering the highest levels of concentration for these particular souls. It's also recommended to allow these individuals to walk barefoot on these natural trails, letting the soles of their feet experience every little sensation that arises from the earth, the grass, and everything that can be found in it. This exercise works as a kind of connector that transmits energy from the earth to the center of that soul. And just like this, it can also be beneficial to embrace trees and touch all kinds of plants, rocks, and other surfaces emerged from the action of nature, understanding that through contact, one can receive the energies of these places. Type A, Celestial Traders. People with blood type A have the particularity of aligning with the concept of star seeds that Dolores Cannon exposed in her works, meaning that these individuals have origins that align not only with life on Earth, but their souls have also traversed other spaces and civilizations that exist in the galaxy, some even very distant from our planet. To better understand how these souls are configured, it is necessary to talk about star seeds from Dolores Cannon's perspective, who commented that these wonderful souls are beings from other planets and dimensions, who come to Earth with the mission of imparting a message of love, peace, and cooperation, from which they can help humanity evolve, but above all, to reach that higher level of consciousness that leads them to pass from one dimension to another. These beings are extremely important figures in the history of humanity, and although their origins are not purely terrestrial, they can be considered crucial in the process we are undergoing collectively. They are not only visitors to our planet, but are important envoys of the universe with a mission in it, one that cannot be executed by anyone who does not possess a level of understanding and elevation inferior to that of these souls. They have an analytical capacity and understanding of the universe like no other, which has made it possible for them to chart the course of their long journey through the galaxy, reaching this place that is known to us as home. Although they often do not have it as part of their conscious knowledge, these souls have a daunting task to face here on Earth, and they are beacons in the darkness, bringing not only elevation, but also a seed of curiosity for what comprises the vast universe. It is important to highlight that the way in which the personalities of these souls are reflected on Earth intrigues many because their deductive thinking ability transcends normality. Being extremely curious beings, enthusiasts of knowledge, and of the things that compose the galaxy, It's as if the cosmic heritage that precedes them couldn't simply remain hidden, and every journey they have made would want to become part of their conscious side. That's why it's not surprising to see their great interest in the galaxy and astronomical topics, as from the depths of themselves they seem to recognize the space they come from and eagerly seek to reconnect with their forces, being powerfully drawn to the study of the sciences that speak of the immensity of the galaxy and seek to give us a clearer glimpse of what it contains. Just like in the previous case, these souls seem to deeply nourish themselves from the energies emanating from the universe, but in this case, through the stars and their contemplation, with a tendency to seek them out at all times being observed in their nature. The curiosity that envelops the personality of these individuals is not limited to the stars, which seem to motivate them and radiate energy towards their being, but it is also applied in all aspects of their journey on Earth, thanks to which they achieve a perfect ability to solve issues in this plane in the most balanced way. That curiosity must be encouraged at all times, as it constitutes one of the greatest strengths of people with this blood type, leading them to be admired for the way they decipher everything around them in the most peculiar ways. As it is not unusual to think, these individuals manage to find the most abstract means to achieve their goals, ones that possibly were not contemplated by others, but ultimately turn out to be as or more effective than expected. As their life unfolds, we will see them developing a great closeness to the galaxy, the stars, and all kinds of celestial bodies, as these seem to remind them in an unconscious way of the legacy that precedes them and the long journey they have made to arrive right at this place. And rather than being scared by the way they seem to immerse themselves in the contemplation of the galaxy, this strong curiosity they display to others must be encouraged by those around them, as it is one of the ways in which their soul is seeking to realign with its true essence and that great repository of knowledge it has brought along. Through the study of astronomy, these individuals can end up contemplating the wonders that make them up, and using the forces of their being for the benefit of the mission they have in this earthly plane. Allowing them access to the greatest amount of information available about the stars can ensure that their soul feels fulfilled again, and that their eagerness to understand what happens beyond our sight is satisfied. Not only are studies part of what is recommended to help balance these beings, but it is also recommended to allow and support the contemplation of the stars and celestial bodies, which not only recharge them, but also function as a kind of anchor for their being, one that can ensure that, in the depths of their being, the connection with their true place of origin remains. Due to how exceptional they are, it's not surprising that these individuals end up capturing all the attention of those around them, who won't be able to help but admire their curious minds and that spark ignited within them, inviting them to seek deeper knowledge about what happens in the cosmos, in the galaxies, and beyond our limited vision. Type B, the mystical individuals of Sirius. These souls turn out to be strongly linked to the idea of Sirius, which is a place in the midst of the galaxy from which the highest souls come, their origin being extraterrestrial, but also considered as guardians of wisdom and all the knowledge that exists in the galaxy. For those who resonate with the idea of a place of soul preparation, it will not be strange to think that such important individuals have their origin outside of Earth and come here to reside among us, providing enlightenment while remaining vigilant of the prevalence of knowledge deposited in the world. A quality that stands out in these beings is a powerful feeling of being foreigners, even in their own homes, which is originated by the truth hidden in their being, which places their origin thousands of light years from Earth. In the light of this, it is normal to see how they distance themselves from the conventional forms and models to which we humans are strongly rooted, seeing social structures and other characteristic aspects of humanity as dysfunctional and even erroneous. This also aligns with that elevated level of consciousness that their being possesses. As mentioned earlier, these individuals come from Sirius, which is considered that place that guards the highest knowledge and where souls are formed, being guided under the principles that govern that civilization, which can be none other than those of love, compassion, and unity. And although upon arriving on Earth, these memories are lost from the conscious part of our being and remain guarded by their soul, those values under which their soul has aligned are so strong that they end up continuing to guide them from the subconscious. If you have this blood type and have ever felt that this is not your true place, it may all be due to this powerful attraction you feel for your true place of origin, and that powerful desire for the transformation of humanity and everything known may come from that longing for the way you became accustomed to behaving in the universe. But unlike the previous case, the calling felt by these individuals is not towards space, much less distant galaxies, but it is represented by an element that people from this elevated civilization consider as a powerful catalyst for all things mystical. People with blood type B actually feel a calling for water, which in their view is a channel that leads the energies of the universe and can move all the forces and intentions that we generate from within ourselves. We can observe how from a very early age these beings end up feeling fascination and preference for those activities, spaces, and plans that possess or imply in some way the precious element. Beyond understanding the importance of water for human beings, these individuals give a very special connotation to the existence of the vital liquid, which we must mention not only constitutes a source of life, but is also present within ourselves. For those who still do not know, we are constituted in a greater proportion by water than by anything else. Similarly, we are gestated in a sac in which we are submerged in that liquid, and for our prevalence, its intake is necessary. Water has beautiful meanings and an importance that goes beyond the norm for people who possess this blood type. That's why it is always recommended to rely on activities and acts that involve this liquid, since from there, their being aligns with the true essence it hides. We will notice how these individuals seem to heal and receive the energies of the universe through water. But not only that, we will also appreciate how this element seems to connect them with their true place of origin and with the knowledge and elevation that emanate from it. Because of that, it is recommended for these people to perform meditation acts in spaces near large bodies of water. It is also known that simply being close to these places generates a state of well-being. At an energetic level, any act or exercise that involves the presence of the element in one way or another will take on greater dimensions for these beings, and what we are working on may even receive much greater strength, or in the relevant case, this work will be taken to the deepest levels. But without things getting too complicated, the mere realization of activities involving water will represent an important moment of deep connection for these individuals. Swimming may be one of the favorite activities for these souls, as it is one of the most complete when the body is fully submerged in the liquid. However, any other activity that involves in one way or another the connection with this element will necessarily imply the connection with the energies of their true self, and of course, with that place from which they come, unlocking forces and hope within them. This also triggers a feeling of comfort by aligning the energies that compose each of these individuals with those belonging to their place of origin, giving them at the same time the opportunity to better understand the reason for their stay on Earth. Everything that derives from the contact of these individuals with water is completely beneficial for them, so it is highly recommended to support their proximity to the vital liquid. Type AB, the cosmic alchemists. Within the framework of an ascension process and the main characters that influence it, we are obligatorily faced with individuals of blood type AB, who possess unique abilities to combine and balance what in the eyes of others appears completely opposite. These individuals are called cosmic alchemists, thanks to their fascinating ability to take positive and negative energies to combine them, ensuring a perfect balance and synchrony between them in their work. Moreover, they are capable of seeing and experiencing duality in every little thing or event that takes place in the reality they face. Indeed, they are people with a higher level of consciousness, a great understanding of the dynamics of the universe, and of course, a set of highly developed skills from which they manage to turn everything they undertake into something fantastic with unthinkable results. Talking about these people necessarily means talking about the principle of unity, of which they seem to be a living incarnation. Because beyond what anyone would expect, these individuals conduct themselves in the earthly and spiritual plane under the harmony of opposing forces, being an example of those values that are thought to lead humanity to a new dimension. The promise of a new earth to inhabit where many of the factors that afflict us today disappear has been present for years, and many have spoken about the leading role of each of the souls that inhabit the earth in the midst of that transition. However, something that few comment on is the special tasks that some of these souls possess. Although the concept of starseeds has been touched upon, and there has also been talk of the arrival of beings from higher dimensions to this plane to help raise human consciousness, little has been explored about how certain earthly souls have in their mission tasks of utmost importance for our migration process. There are souls that will be the catalysts for important phases of this collective journey we are on, and among them we can mention those with blood type AB, who are here to teach humanity how to combine opposing forces, light and darkness, wealth and poverty, abundance and scarcity, so that from this we can understand the true forms of the universe, how it operates, and how from every tiny aspect it is pushing us to achieve the level of consciousness necessary to migrate to a better space. After thousands of years of evolution, today we can see how the universe urges us to move to that new living space that presents itself as perfect as our current dimension has never been able to be. And it does so not only through events placed in our reality, but also through these souls. It seeks to work on aspects that are not yet perfected. But just like in previous cases, and like everything else in the universe, these souls need activities that channel those abilities and help them put them into practice, thus developing strength in their work. For these types of individuals, any type of activity in which they have to put opposing forces or people to work under the same premise is extremely beneficial. In some cases, this can be reflected in integration and cooperation exercises, which do not exclude the need to also seek to balance their being from a less material perspective. In this sense, it is important to mention how meditations constitute some of the best exercises they can perform, since in the midst of them they must create a perfect balance amid the negative and positive energies that compose their being and surround them. So solitary spaces where they can be alone with themselves are perfect for recharging. The success these individuals have in seeking balance and perfect harmony between the forces of their being will be directly translated into the success they have in the midst of the mission that concerns them in the earthly plane. RH negative type, Universe Explorers. In the realm of the incredible and the powerful, we encounter these individuals who are fueled by a thirst for knowledge and understanding that drives not only their own lives, but also provides a very special contribution to the collective journey humanity is on, as they are always seeking a little more than what appears on the surface. In this sense, we must appreciate some of the main characteristics that govern the personality and behavior of these individuals, with a key factor being the curiosity they always show towards any minimal topic, but especially about those that speak of the universe, the cosmos, and what lies beyond the veil of the physical. While some settle for the simple understanding of the material and the forms of this reality, the desire to better understand the universe that drives these wonderful people seems to have no limits, making them complete researchers of everything that surrounds our existence. From balance, harmony, and respect, they dare to explore beyond the limits of the ordinary, contributing to the world a window of enlightenment on the highest aspects and dimensions beyond our own. They also experience a strong and deep connection, not only with the earth, but with the universe itself, as if the place they inhabit is not truly their place to live, but the entire universe is, so they make those who appreciate them do so from the perspective of starseeds. The discovery of truth and that knowledge which at certain points seems lost is not just a hobby, but represents an activity taken very seriously by them, dedicating their entire lives to piecing together this great cosmic puzzle. Hardly anyone other than themselves can understand the way this arduous investigation of life is valid for their existence, as they feel a deep calling to understanding, as if this were the key to fulfilling the missions they have on this earthly plane. They may feel that this is nothing more than their space to inhabit, far from the idea of a home or a place of origin, which is also a motivation for them in unravelling the great knot of knowledge and twists that their soul journey has taken, and which has brought them currently to this point. That is why, to align with their true selves and unleash all the power it confers, meditation is recommended. But not only that, but these individuals are encouraged to seek lucid dreams, from which they can consciously explore between dimensions in search of support from higher beings. As is known, lucid dreams are the perfect means to freely explore beyond the limitations of our physical bodies, being able to obtain from there the answers they seek. Rh positive type, angelic alchemy. As it is not surprising to suppose by the name they have been given, these individuals carry deep within their essence the essence of angelic beings who seek to help and heal humanity as a whole, so they are great exponents of compassion and all the goodness that governs the universe, the deep values of love, compassion, respect and kindness that form the foundation of their being, make them appear in a very harmonious, balanced manner, representing security for all those around them. These precious individuals bring light, love, and compassion to the most remote corners of the earth, and although they may not always understand it, they are simply positive influences in the lives of all who encounter them. Their lives align with the purposes and tasks attributed to angels or celestial messengers, which speak of infinite support, compassion, support, and limitless love. Throughout their journey, they become more than just people who cross our path. They leave a significant mark on every life they encounter. Their existence in this earthly plane is not a mere coincidence, but rather a conscious determination based on the principles that govern their souls, leading them to seek ways to connect with humanity and provide light, love, and healing from the deepest fibres. Thanks to the true essence they possess, they become people called to support and understand those around them, making their presence very pleasant and warm, as if there were a deep sense of familiarity. Just as their determination led them to descend to Earth to offer profound love and healing energies, the way they conduct themselves among the lives of those who need them most is also an act of kindness, making them complete missionaries. Describing what these individuals represent on Earth is difficult because their love and reach extend so far that we can only describe them as beacons in the darkness, an anchor to cling to amid life's strong waves, available to those who need them most. But they do not require great effort for this. With their mere presence, they can radiate love and deep compassion to those who need it most, replenishing them with hope and lifting up those who have fallen into misfortune. Through their actions, they create a ripple effect that brings kindness, love, and compassion to the most remote places, extending the impact of their presence beyond imagination. For these individuals, it is highly recommended to engage in nature meditation exercises where they can connect with the Earth's energies and nourish themselves from them, gaining the necessary drive to fulfill their mission. Blood type compatibility. Much has been said biologically about blood type compatibility, but on an energetic and soul level, this also holds profound meaning. It speaks to how the energies composing the true essence of each person can align in perfect harmony. The fact that two blood types may be incompatible on an earthly plane is not merely coincidental. Rather, it speaks to how two pieces can fit together perfectly, enhancing each other's efforts and effects within the successful completion of a task. In this same sense, it is necessary to view souls as powerful elements of the world, which, when united, amplify their actions, aid each other, and thereby ensure the success of their work. Amidst our soul journey, it is imperative to understand that our emotional connection with another soul can be a powerful call for our energy to resonate with theirs, achieving a mutually beneficial union, placing both parties in the necessary spaces and levels of consciousness. Considering this aspect helps us find that soulmate who has a purpose in our lives and whom we have been seeking since the moment of our arrival in this earthly plane, as the agreement that governs both speaks to mutual support. Biological factors alone do not govern the closeness or repulsion between souls. Understanding that being incompatible with another person does not mean something is wrong with either of them. Instead, it means that each must find the contribution that we ourselves cannot provide. Energetically, we are drawn to those who provide us with the energy we need to experience, thus catalyzing our own processes and leading us to align with our purpose on Earth. This is an idea that leads us to contemplate the perfection of our journey and how everything falls into place along our path, providing us with what we cannot find within ourselves but imperatively need to fulfill the function of our existence. Each experience is unique, and each person resonates with this knowledge in their own way. Therefore, I would like you to go to the comments and tell me what blood type you are and how this information resonates with your life. If you enjoyed our encounter, let me know with a like, and please do not hesitate to share this with someone you want to awaken to consciousness. And to continue on this path of growth and enlightenment, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, as every day we will create a space for knowledge and understanding of the universe. We will meet again soon. Until then, I send you much light.